Mm-hmm.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the last episode of SOSO Podcast for 2023, the December edition. It's here once again, the end of the year. It's pretty crazy. We were able to sneak this one in 2 days before, actually a day before the New Year's. So we're not late technically. But yeah, the year's over. The year
is over.
It's pretty fucking
Sadly.
crazy. It's been definitely one heck of a year. In the sense that it just zoomed by.
Yeah. It didn't feel like it was the whole year.
Yeah,
Like it was like a few months. I mean, the weather didn't help. It made it seem like we only had like one season, so.
That's true. And this month you lost an eye. We did the Christmas stream. Just a lot of stuff happened, and right now is the time where we're trying to spend as much time with friends or like family right now. So since we had our last stream, we're recording this on the 30th, but we did our last two streams, or a last stream a couple days ago. I did an imp stream actually today of me just cooking, but
You did, yeah. I saw that.
yeah, besides that, it's just been like all around just the same. It's been a chill couple days since we had our last like scheduled stream.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back very soon after the year. After the year starts, not taking that big of a break, but it's pretty crazy. We're gonna be 33 next year.
We are gonna be 33 next year.
Does that scare you?
I don't want to think about it. Yeah. I like to live in denial that I'm still younger than 30,
Yeah. Same.
but my body tells me no. So, I try to forget about it, but then every morning I wake up with something else that's in pain. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, nah.
Yeah. Speaking of pain, what happened to your eye?
So I tried to get up one morning. The dogs were really excited for breakfast, and I opened my eye right when the dogs were jumping at me, and I caught a nail in my eye. So,
Caught a nail.
yeah.
How long did they keep that on?
I mean, I have to get a checkup in a week, so I'll go back on like the 2nd or 3rd or something
What's like?
to get checked, and then we'll see from there. So
How's it gaming with that?
I can't game. I can't really do much. Like, it's really weird with only one eye. It feels like I don't know. It's really frustrating because I can't see everything. Like, I can't see anything clearly. It feels like I'm just looking at like. It's like, it feels like a VR headset that's like one side is busted.
I'm gonna get some water.
Or like, I mean, just like imagine you're playing a video game and the left side of your controller is not working. It's kind of like that. It just doesn't work.
Your depth perception is just non-existent.
Yeah, that too.
So you're like trying to pet Anu and then you'll like slap him.
I end up slapping him on accident because I can't gauge where my hand is at in relation to objects. So I've clipped a few things with my shoulders, walking. Today I almost ran into a guy just walking on the sidewalk because I didn't see that he was right next to me. So that was fun.
Also, I just wanted to mention that for people that, it's with schedules and whatnot, sometimes this is the only content that people watch from us. And I do want to say that Roy, a community member that's always doing our edits, you might have seen our shorts and whatnot, did like a year review of Blluist, all the best moments of Blluist, and we'll put that in the description of this video. So go check that out. Just watch that and you're like pretty much caught up with everything we did this year. So it's an amazing video they put out.
It was a very good yearly review.
Yeah, and it would mean a lot for us too if you guys can, like the video, talk about it. What is it? But if you're not subscribe, all that stuff. It would mean a lot. And leave a comment on there too. It really helps the video. Roy's doing really, really just amazing work. So yeah, I just want to put that out there. That we do have a Blluist 2023 video out. So please check that out. But yeah, I mean, this month was game-wise, it was normal. We did some like festive stuff, but we kind of laid it low, I'd say, compared to other years. It's always just that like winter time, just trying to like figure everything out.
I mean, we finished this year off with watching Yu Yu Hakusho, but you know.
Yeah, we did. That was the
Live
last
action,
stream.
yeah.
Yeah, live action.
Mm-hmm.
Not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah,
So-
we ended up finishing it off stream. We watched the last 2 episodes, but
It was last 2 episodes. What? Total of 5, and they try to do a whole arc
yeah,
in 5 episodes. So I was actually talking about it on the Imp stream today, and I was like, for someone that doesn't know Yu Yu Hakusho, to go into this, to the live action, it's such a clusterfuck of like characters
Yeah, 'cause
because
it's like,
they
why do
introduce
I-
like 100 characters in like 2 episodes.
yeah. It's like, because it's like, wait, why do I care about these people?
Yeah, or
Why
like,
are they
who
friends
are
so
they?
fast? Yeah,
Who are they?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
of course, it was like they're trying to get fan favorite arc, fan favorite villain in, and I'm guessing they were just like, you know, we don't have 10 episodes, okay? Anime on Netflix is before like One Piece came out, so it just doesn't do well. But we want to do this, so let's bang this Toguro arc out in 5 episodes, 1 hour long, 5 hours. How do we do it? And it was like, and I think that's what the result was. So as a Yu Yu Hakusho fan, there's a lot like of question marks, but you know, it's like a nice action flick. They went, I felt like they went more of like the modern like Yankee. They focused more on like the Yankee style of drama more than like crazy CGI all the time, fighting a lot, and you know, there's a lot of CGI. Don't get me wrong, but it felt more of like a modern Yankee drama,
Yeah.
which is nice. Which is, I think, it's the right way to go.
Yeah, I just wish it was longer, I guess.
Yeah,
It just felt really rushed. Like, it's really obvious that they had to rush it.
yeah.
So, it's like all the good things about the characters aren't really there.
I thought Yusuke was pretty cool.
Yeah. But I meant like all the little quirks of them and why you love them aren't really there.
Yeah, and it's hard to do that
So,
in 5 episodes.
Exactly. So you can't
Fun
really
watch,
form any kind of attachment to anyone.
It was a fun.
Yeah.
It was a fun. It made us want to watch Yu Yu Hakusho again,
Yeah.
like the anime.
Like anime, yeah.
Yeah, because that one's definitely like the quintessential like 80s fun gag, like with you know, very what we see now as the stereotypical characters, but a lot of them are like the origin, like the whole Chuni thing kind of started with Hiei, with like, you know, when you have the image of the Chuni guy with the you know, the thing around his arms, like that's all him, you know. Like I'm sure there's characters before that, but Hiei was the one that kind of brought it to the,
Yeah.
you know,
He was like the originator of Chuni.
yeah, pretty much everyone wants to be like Hiei, you know. Even like the guy from what's it, like
Saikike.
yeah, Saikike,
Yeah.
like that's all just Hiei, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had all the catchphrases, which I really liked. Like they didn't forget the catchphrases, like the iconic things that people said.
I don't know. I'm disappointed I didn't get to hear a single Rose Whip.
Oh yeah, Kurama never said Rose
Nah, he
huh?
didn't.
Which was kind of something that I enjoyed, was that they didn't go super tacky with Reigan, Spirit Gun.
Mane,
He didn't
yeah.
say it at the beginning. He only said it once.
At the very end.
Yeah, but it wasn't tacky. I thought the way that they they showed Reigan wasn't as, it could have gone so tacky, but they
yeah,
didn't do
it
that.
could have been really bad.
But I thought that was cool. But yeah, so we did that. That was our last stream and kind of like watch party type thing that we did. Event, I guess, with everybody. I don't know what we're going to be doing at the beginning of the year, but, you know, and then we did the full-on review of on stream. We did the KFC feast stream as we do every year. Made the mulled wine. It was nice. This is more of like a personal question, but like December kind of flew by, as we said. It's actually 2023 was a weird year.
Yeah.
Good
it
and
was
bad.
a weird year.
But how was it? Like how was this month for you in terms of streaming? I want to like focus on streaming, but like where were you head-wise, do you think?
I mean, to be honest, I really wasn't focused on streaming because
Yeah,
there was a lot of other things going on for me. So it's kind of, I mean, I think recently I've had a lot of opportunities to kind of, I don't know how much I should say, but I've been blessed with other opportunities that made me kind of step away from streaming a little bit. So, and I think 2024 is probably going to be like that too, where I'm going to have other projects to work on. So I think streaming will definitely be more of a hobby, I guess. I mean, it has been a hobby. Don't get me wrong. Like, I meant more like it's not going to be, how do you even word it right?
I think
but
mentally the weight, there's gonna be a lot less weight on it mentally. It doesn't mean that you're gonna step away from streaming.
Yeah, it's not like I'm not gonna stream or anything like that. It's more like mentally, it's gonna be more. I don't have to. Yeah, mentally, it's not so jarring if we don't meet a certain like quota or something. So, because before, like, of course, like with anything, you do worry about, I guess, like the money side of things too. But since
growth and
growth and all that. So it's like, but since I have other opportunities now, just like how Gray has freelance stuff too, I think I'm finally like mentally able to step away from putting so much pressure on myself and streaming.
It's so weird because like we had the more weight that we put in mentally, not physically, but the more weight we have on streaming, the less we do. It's really weird, you know? And when things start to kind of like lose their weight, we start thinking, oh, we should try that, we should try that, we should try that, we should try that. And it makes our footwork a lot lighter, I think, because this month, or coming into this month, it was pretty heavy. Not gonna lie, it was kind of heavy. And I think if people that checked out the last podcast, I think you can tell it was a little heavy. And for us, and some things helped it, but in general, it was like a heavy thing. Like, okay, let's get through December. You know, let's just power through this. But towards the end, and things started kind of not changing, but things started happening, and it took a little bit of weight off streaming for us for a little bit mentally. And that's when we started kind of moving. We have, you know, and we're like, oh, maybe we should try this. And then things started to kind of moving streaming wise for us. Of course, nothing has been out yet, or nothing has been like announced or anything like that. Still in planning processes of things, but we started having like a vision for what we want Blluist to be going into 2024. After doing it for 5 years, we're finally at a place where we can be like, okay, we're good at this, we're not good at this. Let's grow with this. And it could only happen because we took a little bit of a mental step back from streaming, and it wasn't like this. Because some people thrive when they go like this in certain situations, and I think something really good can come out of that too. Something really focused, something really dense, and something really good, meaningful. But too much of that, you get kind of lost. I think for me, I get kind of lost. So taking a step back was, and it's all mental. It's not like physical. We streamed as much as we always do. You know, it wasn't like we took huge breaks. Like physically we were there, but mentally, it's difficult when it's just difficult because there's a lot of external factors when it comes to streaming. It's not just about Twitch, and everybody knows this. Whether you're a streamer or not, or a content creator or not, you have to utilize all these other things, right? It's been talked about a million times. And but that's just something that we aren't good at doing. And that's not something that we consistently can do and enjoy. So having that, we've just spent 5 years trying to figure out what the best way is. How do we, nurture something? And we already do have like a great community that we're so proud of and can't thank enough. And we're already so lucky to have what we have right now. So I think next step is to really realize what our role is in all of this. Like, what makes us us? not in the sense of like when we stream, who's blue and gray. No, like what's Blluist to other people, and what can we be for other people, other content creators, other people in the space that they can, because we think people can benefit from what we worked on over the years, and I think we can benefit too if we just change our mindset a little bit. And so when we started thinking like that, I think it really opened up a lot of new plans and a lot of like motivation. I wrote out like a thing to share with Blue on like what I think we should. I wrote out a paper of like bullet points.
A book report.
Yeah, I put out a report to share with Blue to be like, this is what I think we should be, the direction that we should go in. If not, you can totally disagree. Like, we can talk about it, but I just need to write it down, because once I start talking, it's just like this podcast. I just derail. So, I'm doing that. But yeah, it's easy to get tunnel vision. You say it in a very positive way, focused, negative way. Yeah, tunnel vision. So I think we're getting better, slowly but surely, better at kind of like spacing stuff out. And like what Blue said, with her opportunities that she's starting to like kind of maybe have, it's very, very exciting, I think, for us in our lives, for Blue and Gray in our lives. So I'm really excited for 2024.
And because of that, I think I'm starting to actually really consider changing schedules. Changing everything to like the evening streams. But we'll have to let you guys know what we decide for January. But I think it might be better to just change it to all one time. Is what I'm thinking, but yeah, that's something we haven't really discussed.
Yeah.
So
thing is like, we've talked about it before, and it's been a while since we talked about the schedule thing, I guess, but keeping a schedule is so important for a small creator like us for growth, because the constant kind of, they're going to be on that time. Yeah. The more you can have people that, it's like a TV show, right? It's the evening news at 5. Like, everybody knows that. Or like Pokemon starts at 7 p.m. on a Thursday. Stuff like that over here in Japan. Stuff like that. It's really important to keep everybody in the rhythm. And to change that is a big deal. But then again, it's like, that's also like up to us to want to create a community, or like try to work hard to make a community that would come hang out at a different time zone or a different time. Some people are already out of their comfort time zone to watch us, and we know that, which is fucking insane. And it's like, God, thank you for hanging out with us. People like wake up to watch us and stuff. It's crazy. But I think the change is always a selfish thing on our end. It's like, we need to change it for our own thing, our own schedule. And we've already made schedule changes in the past, and people have, stuck around, and people understand. And so a lot of people, or some people can't, obviously. That makes sense. Everyone's got their own lives. But yeah, I think a schedule change is pretty scary. It's big. That's why it's a lot easier said than done. But I think it's going to be important. I think, it might be needed for our life schedules. Our life schedules. And so I hope you guys understand. And hopefully you guys still stick around, I think. And but we'll promise you it'll be entertaining. And it also makes for better streams, I think. Scheduled streams are weird because they make, in general, this is a generalization, they make for worse streams, but it makes people stay for like growing content creators. It's really weird, right? Because like with a schedule, people come and they, like I said, schedule. But if you're on every day at a certain time and you schedule it, and you like we have to be like, okay, we have to be on this time, but for around this long, blah blah, and you do it for a long periods of time, unless you plan this shit out and everything is planned, and every day is like an event, something's crazy, and you can plan that out, it's gonna make for some like dull times for sure. And you know what I mean? And
it's like school.
Yeah.
You have to go. Even if you enjoy school, right? But if it's something you have to do every morning at 9 or whatever time, 7, I don't know when we used to go to school, but it becomes like, maybe that day you're not really looking forward to it.
And that's
it's something
fine.
you have to do. Not necessarily have to, but like when you do set a schedule, you're expected to be there.
Yeah.
So when there's like that expectation, you kind of have to follow it, right? So it's not just like, you know what, I feel like streaming, and then you turn it on. Those are in-stream. So sometimes with the scheduled ones, it's more like, okay, we have a schedule, we got to stick to it. We don't have anything we want to do today, but maybe we can find something.
It's just what it is, right?
Yeah.
You got to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is already a road down bad content or like a bad stream. And but then it's also our job, I guess, to make that entertaining, right? And to just start, and that's why people always have like games lined up that they want to play. But for us, it's hard because we're very picky about the games that we want to play, in the sense that there's times that we don't want to play a game. Like sometimes we just don't want to play a game, but it also doesn't mean we can do 6 hours of sitting here and doing just chatting. Those are very different. Those are two different, just chatting is a beast on its own. Not IRL, just chatting. It's a beast on its own. And you can't do that every day. We can't do that every day for 6 hours. So it's like, it's a difficult line. And some people do it really well. They're just absolute professionals. We're not professionals at this at all. If it hasn't been obvious yet. But I think I am very confident in what we do, but we're definitely not professionals. We're not wearing, like, if professional meant the metaphor being like wearing a suit, we don't wear a suit to work. We show up in a t-shirt, but that doesn't mean we're bad at what we do. And I think hopefully that people enjoy the streams, and we definitely put our thought into it, and we're not just winging it. But that also doesn't mean scheduling every time we're going, let's fucking go. I'm more like, let's fucking go when I was cooking sweet and sour chicken today and it wasn't planned. I think one of the biggest things, for one of the goals that people don't talk about, that maybe people don't have, so it's not a common thing. This could be a totally uncommon thing, just could be something we think about. But one of the goals is to get rid of scheduled streams. And we've said this for years, that the goal is to get out of scheduled streams and still have the same pull every time, or even more, just have a stabilized pull. But that's just hard. That's just a hard thing, and that's what's really hard about content creation. Even that being said, we still have a pretty stable pull compared to, like what we did before, like maybe us like 3 years ago. Way more stable, higher standard, easy, but even with that, we can't just be like, all right, we're gonna get rid of our schedule. That's just something people don't talk about these unscheduled streams, and how it kind of inevitably turns it into a job, inevitably makes the content like
kind of stale at times.
And that doesn't mean that person doesn't like streaming or that person is being lazy at all. It's just or they're just going to end up playing a game that they don't like, and we will never do that. So like that's another thing. Some people can power through, and that's another level of professionalism, that they'll go through it. They'll play a game that they don't specifically like, but they'll do it for entertainment. We'll play a game that everybody hates, but if we like it, we'll play it. Or like if we think it's interesting, we'll play it. But if we don't think it's interesting, we won't touch it. or like we don't, not interesting as in the game is not interesting, that too, but if we don't think we can do a good stream, if we can make a good stream out of it.
Yeah. It's more like, yeah, if it's something that we can't make entertaining, then it's not worth streaming. It's a game you should probably play off stream kind of thing. Especially for when it's two people, it's very important, I think, to choose a game that really works for both of us. Because if one person isn't into it, it's really obvious. And I think it makes it really hard for the person who is into it to keep playing. So it's pretty important to make sure that we're both on the same wavelength and everything too.
Yeah, and this year was definitely a year that made me realize that streaming with two people all the time is also really hard, because I quit my job this year. So I spent double the time that I did on duo streams. And because I was here every day, right?
Yeah.
Since that. And I was like, my God, it's so different. I think it was like 2 or 3 months in, it just really hit that like streaming together all the time, always having to like think about games, or like we were really lucky because there were a lot of good games this year, but just doing the just chatting portion every day, the two of us. And I would like to think that we have chemistry, and I really like doing banter, but you know, we're humans. We don't bounce each other off every single day, every moment. And again, we're not professionals, we're just a couple, you know?
Yeah.
So like sometimes it doesn't work, and then there's frustration that we can see in each other, and it just happened because we did it twice as much on a weekly basis
in between like we used to.
Yeah,
like we used to have. So
I just realized why I thought that. Yeah, and it was because there was no solo streams.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, there's no break.
Yeah,
except for our Thursday streams, which is Sundays, I guess, or our off days. I mean,
which is crazy to think that it's
because you went from 3 days of streaming to 5.
Yeah.
So, and those 2 extra streams do make a big difference, I think.
Yeah, because I like stream. I thought I wasn't gonna like streaming after, or like my idea of streaming would change. It didn't change at all. If anything, it made more imp streams actually, and it made it easier to stream for me, just more accessible. It was the duo streams that really like. I was like, oh, it's hard. It's harder than I thought to just do duo streams 5 times a day, or 5 times a week. Sorry, and just kind of keep that going, and not like have an off moment, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like always just because you don't play solo games anymore.
Yeah.
There's no games in between. It's just everything has to be us two. So that's why I was like, I want to play more co-op games. So then we went through a whole like thing of like, how do we make co-op games easier to watch? So we got the foot pedal, which I think works really well. But co-op games are also different because it's hard to focus on all this stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot going on the screen and everything. So
and split control has kind of, it was very obvious which games were good for split control and which games were not.
Yeah.
In the sense of like what causes frustration that we've never thought of. It's just normal, but it causes a whole level of frustration that I can't and you can't turn into a moment or stuff like that, you know? Like it's just pure frustration, and I can't make it funny, or like I can't.
Yeah, no, we're just angry.
Yeah, and it never used to be like that, you know? That's why when games like Heavenly Bodies, where it's a co-op game, but it's just fucking crazy. Those are fun. Like the cooking co-op game that we played was fun. And of course, split control games are always good. Like the good ones are good, and it's always a fun time. But more and more, I thought this doesn't need to be split control.
Yeah, there's some that really doesn't need to be.
Yeah, and we don't need to force it because it's not. Our banter is, our chemistry is way more interesting than beating a certain boss in split control. You know, like I think that's what makes us us, rather than a physical feat in a game. You know, so yeah, that's definitely a reflective moment that I just had right now. And, like, it just blew my mind a little bit, where it was like, oh yeah, it's because I was streaming like twice as much.
Yep.
Scheduled. So yeah, I think with that being said, I feel like next year, with a lot of like, we're trying to like move into a direction where that won't be the case, and that, so you guys are gonna see a lot of different types of, hopefully you'll see a lot of more different face of Blluist. Blluist already has a shit ton of weird faces, but like we do all kinds of weird shit, but like even more, and within our reach, within what we think is interesting, what we think is, you know, hopefully fun to watch, fun to hang out in, and still stay the same, you know, kind of same color, but maybe a little bit of different shapes, a little bit more triangles, not just squares and, you know, circles and whatnot. Try different shapes. So that's what is going to be exciting for Blluist in 2024.
Yeah.
So please be excited. Let's just hope all of this shit that we just mentioned, or
actually
like
happens.
Vaguely mentioned without really mentioning anything, actually happens. But,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's the thing, is we can't really guarantee that it will. We
Right.
hope it will.
Yeah.
But,
And we'll work hard for
Yeah.
it to work, but
we'll see.
you know, we fail a lot, as you
Yeah.
guys know. So
It might be that next year in December we're like, yeah, all those things we mentioned didn't happen this year, but
next year,
yeah, maybe. You
Like,
never
yeah.
know. You never know.
and then if that happens, let's just erase 2024.
Yeah.
So
We
let's
just
say
start
that
over
it didn't
in
happen.
2025.
But nah, 2024, there'll be some good stuff. So that's pretty much a roundup of this month. We had a lot of questions over up on the Discord for the last month, so let's get into that. Blue, you want to start us off?
I know that Blue hates math, but Gray, which school subject were you horrible in?
I was sucky.
This is from Kiat.
Kia, thank you so much for that question, man.
I think that's the first question.
I sucked at math, for sure. Math probably the most, actually. My teacher asked me, everyone was going into calculus, and I said I can't even pronounce that word, and I was still stuck in like algebra 2.
Oh, do you have Dracula too?
What's Dracula?
Oh, is it Dracula or something?
Is that
no, Calcula or something? I forgot.
Is that a calculus joke?
No, that's
What is
the
that?
fact that you jumble up letters like me. Like you don't understand numbers. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Dyscalculia or something?
Dyscalculia?
Yeah, something like that.
No, I just suck. And I remember what was it? It was like my teacher was like, you know, everyone's going to calculus, but you can go into, if you really don't like math, you can go into some like statistics or something like that. And I was like, do you guys have like algebra 3 or something? like I'm so not interested in any of this. And I think I ended up taking like stats 1, where the people that were taking stats went to like 2 or 3. I just stayed at 1. And I think I had one other person in my grade as a senior taking that class, and we're like, nice. So yeah, definitely math. And I didn't have enough credits to graduate, and I found that out that I didn't have enough art credits to graduate school, because there was I took ceramics, which is a beginner freshman course, my senior year. I got a D in it. Anyways,
Okay.
that was fun. But yeah,
The thing is, like, I don't necessarily hate math. It's more like math hates me. So.
math hates you.
No, I actually liked math. Like, I liked the whole, like, you figure out these formulas with your trusty, your calculator. And I liked the process of math. But it's just, yeah, math doesn't like me.
You strike me as an English major, but also you strike me like a literature major, and you also strike me as a math person.
I mean, literature was my favorite course.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love grammar.
You love grammar?
And yeah, different, like, just, I love vocabulary and grammar and really eloquent ways of saying the same sentence in different ways, and all the different types of poetry and all that stuff. So I love all that. But yeah, I thought math was fun. But the thing is, Yeah, I just never understood why, even though I liked it, I could never get a single question right.
That's
and
rough.
That's when I figured out that I have that thing where I just numbers just don't register.
That's
for me.
rough.
That's why even now money, I have trouble with money, figuring out what zero placements and decimal placements, and I have trouble reading prices.
That's true. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, or time even. Yeah, or measuring stuff. I have trouble with the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I get mixed up. So, because I think it was it would, for example, it'd be oh yeah, I got for example, it would be oh yeah, this company made 7 mil. To me, I don't know if that's a lot or not. Is that a lot of money?
Depends. So so you're saying you don't know the scale of things.
Yeah, or okay, what's 10 million yen? Is that a lot?
That's a lot if you're talking about money, but in terms of what?
Money,
you know,
okay, I got 10 million. Is
now,
that a lot?
right now.
Right now, is that a lot?
$10 million or 10 million yen?
Yen.
What's 10 million yen? I don't.
Dollars. I don't know. I don't really.
$10 million is a lot. Yeah.
That's a lot. Am I good for life a lot, or I'm good for the year a lot?
You're okay. You're way better than a year if you have 10. If you just got $10 million.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I don't understand.
You don't know the scope of things, the scale of.
It just doesn't make sense.
But you would understand if you got 10,000 yen, what the worth of that is. If I gave you 10,000 yen right now, then you'd be okay, I could use it for this, this, and this.
10,000 is ichiman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for that question. A Xenon asks, the end is near. I want to know, what are your goals for 2024? Or maybe are there things you wish to improve on that you couldn't during 2023? Goals for 2024 is kind of what we mentioned, but definitely mentally have a better relationship with streaming. And for me, with streaming, have a better relationship with my body, with my mind, stay more connected. And I think for me, what I couldn't do in 2023 was I was really just laser focused on streaming, and like I said, ended up not being able to do anything. So, and we couldn't really, in my mind, we couldn't really do shit in streaming either because of that. I got kind of I locked myself in, so mentally too. And there's really bad moments this year that I was just not in a good place. So change that, loosen up a little bit. What about you?
I want to grow my personal socials, obiru, my kimono stuff, my kumihimo and kimono content. I would like to slowly work on that for 2024. So I have some kind of presence in the kimono community. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I just more as a side project because that's something I'm interested in right now. So it'd be cool if I could expand on that. So that's my goal for 2024.
There you go. Ino asks, what usually motivates you guys to keep streaming aside from this is what I want to do? Motivates you to keep streaming? Well, I don't need that much of a motivation to stream. That's because in the sense that we mentioned, when it's scheduled, sometimes you don't want to do it, but you do it because I do it because not because someone's telling me to do it, not because you have to pay the bills for it or anything. Because
we both know that once you press start, you'll end up enjoying it anyway.
It's what we like to do.
Yeah.
So we don't need motivation. I don't need to be motivated to do something that I already like doing. It's like hanging out. I don't need to be motivated to go hang out with somebody, or it's just something that we like to do.
But yeah.
To me, it's more
it's the same thing as okay, you're gonna go hang out with somebody, right? With a friend. You might feel a little bit of dread being oh, I have to go outside in the cold. I have to wear a lot of clothes and it's gonna be cold outside, and you don't like that. But as soon as you go out there and see your friend, you're gonna have a really good time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
And
it's the same thing.
And the times that there, like we mentioned, where it is a little bit we need to push. The push that we need is so minuscule because it's already what we want to do.
Yeah, no one's forcing us to do things.
Yeah. So
if we really don't want to stream, then we cancel.
Yeah. And if you need a push that hard, you shouldn't be doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
Is my personal opinion. Like, there's other things that probably would be much better worth your time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it comes pretty natural.
Have to force yourself to do any kind of passion project.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what it should be, is a passion project. Like, you should like doing it. Like, no one should be holding no one should be forcing you to do it. That's not what a passion project is. So
I think that's what it is. Thank you so much for that question, Panda asks, are your parents worried that you're still pursuing streaming?
What? You just skipped a...
No.
Oh, no, sorry. I can't see.
Are your parents worried that you're still pursuing streaming? Not really, because we have other streams of income, and
yeah, so no.
We're
not really.
Yeah, like they know that we're responsible adults.
Yeah, like, so I think your parents, my parents, they trust us enough to know when to stop.
Yeah.
If it gets out of control.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not like I tell my parents everything. So all the things that are happening in my life, I tell them, and they know that I have other ways of making income outside of streaming, and it's just like a plus alpha type situation. So my parents, I'm good. Yeah, thanks for that question. Eno asks another question: if money wasn't an issue, what country would you guys want to live? I'm not much of a global person, so I have no desire to live anywhere. I'm okay with anywhere. At the same time, I don't have a desire to.
Yeah, I'm okay with Japan.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Like, it's pretty comfy here, so I don't really. Yeah.
I don't mind if someone's like, "Yo, go to America or something." I'll be like, "Okay, yeah."
If someone's like, "Hey, go live here for a year," I'm totally down.
Yeah.
But
what's the uptime?
Yeah.
Over there.
It's more like I don't really have a dream destination or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a hard one. We've been asked that many times, but it's a hard one for me because I never really have somewhere that I want to go, or I'm okay with where I am. Hey, John asks, making New Year's resolutions for yourself is old hat. What, if anything, would you want the other person to work on improving this year? What would you want the other person to work on improving next year? So something that I want Blue to improve on. I would say something that I want Blue to improve on. I mean, this just goes with everything, but just communicate more. Communicate her feelings. She thinks a lot inside and doesn't express things as much. So I would say that, but still it's fine. Like, it's I'm not in a position to be able to. I need to improve on a ton of shit myself, so I'm never in a position to tell her to do this, do that, or get better at this or anything like that. But
yeah, I mean, same here. I don't really have anything I can criticize you on.
Yeah. What plans do you guys? Thanks for that question, John. Ambot asks, what plans do you guys have for the stream this 2024? We have some stuff cooking, but
we did talk about it a little bit earlier,
but
very vaguely. But
game-wise, we'll always just play what we want. 2024, good games. We'll see what comes out.
And we're gonna become Monster Hunter streamers. So from January
2025.
2024. From January 3rd, all we're gonna do is play Monster Hunter.
Oh, just get ready for a whole.
Yeah, just all Monster Hunter. That's it.
There it is. There.
Yeah, and it's not Monster Hunter Rise. It's Monster Hunter Now.
Monster Hunter Now.
Yeah. The MOBA game.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much for that question. Jer asks, what are your highlights of the year for the both of you? Are there any that you haven't shown on stream that you're particularly proud of? Number 1, Mimi.
Yeah, Mimi.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Mimi. Dub. Something that we're proud of. achievement wise, I think, dude, I'll be real. I'll be really real. That we made it through. And we're still in one piece. And
I don't know about that.
what do you
I'm missing pieces from this year. This year was rough for me. Injury and like cold wise, there was so much shit. I had so many fevers and so many injuries that I'm just tired of this year. I want it to be 2024 already. I'm not necessarily proud of I'm proud of surviving, yeah. That's about it. Yeah.
I think I'm just proud that that we're still
here.
Yeah, that we're still here, hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. It's hard to do that. As easy as it sounds, quitting my job. You know, I'm also I'm really proud that I quit my job.
Oh yeah, I'm proud of you for that.
Question for each of you individually. Trip asks, if you've been granted unlimited money and developers to create your own video game, what sort of game do you make? What's the genre and what's the overall vibe? JRPG, kind of like Final Fantasy, turn-based, with a lot of breeding, monster breeding. A lot of that.
That's not just porn.
A lot of that. How about you? Art style like Hoyoverse, like the anime stuff.
I want like a choose your own adventure game for sure, like the choices matter kind of thing. But I want a video game where you play as the villain. Like that's the setting, because like Dragon Quest Monsters was like that, where you're the main character is a villain, right?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So I want like a game where you're actually the villain, and so you have to choose the bad choices. Like you have to choose the mean choices. Like you don't have a choice to choose good ones.
There's like it's not choices, but there's a game where you're the bad person, and then you like, it's like a map, like a dungeon, and then the heroes come up, and then you place monsters and traps so they can't get to the princess.
Yeah. So it's I just want a game where you play the villain of some kind of like fantasy game. So you see this whole journey from the other side. And I mean, maybe you have a good reason to be a bad guy. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But yeah, I think that'd be fun.
Question for a Blue from Dumpy. What is your favorite book that you read this year? And are you excited for any books coming out in 2024?
Yeah. So, St. Gibson wrote their like debut novel. I've mentioned it before. It's called The Dowry of Blood. That one it's a book about Dracula's wife, and it's told from Dracula's wife's perspective. And that was my favorite book this year. And then she actually has a book coming out next year as well called An Education in Malice, which I don't really know the plot to. I don't really want to know the plot to. I just want to read it because I liked her other books so much. So that's probably what I'm looking forward to next year. Yeah.
What games... Oh, wait. And did you answer both those?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What games you guys really want to play this year but you couldn't? And what game was way better than you expected this year? From Yuzu. What game did you really want to play this year but couldn't? I wanted to play this year the DLC for 16 and then couldn't do that.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't have time for that or energy to do that one. And then what games were way better than you expected?
Isn't it Baldur's Gate for you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you were so against it at first. So I just were not having a good time at first.
Yeah, that game was like, I was not interested at all. And then completely 180 on that one, for sure.
I don't really have a game that I really wanted to play this year but couldn't. I think we played everything I wanted to play. I can't really think of one that we didn't really play.
No.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything. I think, we were able to pretty much play everything I was planning to. So, I mean, I did want to get into Alan Wake because it won so many awards. I became really interested in it, so I do want to play Alan Wake at one point. But And then what game was better than you expected? Can I be real? GTA.
GTA. Let's go.
The reason why I never played it up till now is because I always thought it was like, I thought it was gonna be, you know, like dumb, where you just go like steal cars and you go rob banks and there's no story and you're just a bad guy and you're just like selling drugs, and it's like that doesn't sound fun to me, you know? It didn't sound that fun.
Even
but
though
then
it's exactly what you're doing.
no, but there's actually a story
Right.
with like different characters, and they're actually like, it's not like some mediocre story either. Like the characters are actually likable.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why they're doing all of this. It's not like some free for all. Like I really thought it was just like a free for all where it's just like, it's like, you know, there's not a storyline. All you're supposed to do is like, they just put you on a map and like, here, go steal some money.
Right.
So it was a lot deeper than I thought it would be.
There you go.
So
Good question. Kago asks, who were your favorite content creators of 2023? I got one and one only. Thank you so much this year, Muscle Grill on YouTube. They are the reason that I lost so much weight, and thank you for your recipes that I always watch. Definitely. Shouts out to Muscle Grill.
hold on.
Not girl, grill.
Grill. Like barbecue, right?
Yeah, they have all these like recipes, and like all my recipes are just from there. Like, yeah.
Mine is, hold on. I don't want to like butcher her name. So there's this YouTuber who specializes in kimono like tutorials. I have watched almost every video of hers. She has taught me how to do all my obi recently, and there's been so many times where Gray would come into the bathroom and I have her on slow-mo because I'm trying to follow along to her tutorial, but she's going too fast. So shouts out to her. I can't find her right now.
It's your favorite content creator and you can't find it?
I mean, it's not. Yeah, because she goes by a different name on Instagram. So on Instagram, if anyone's interested, her name's Kimono Sunao. So if you're interested.
Kimono Sunao.
Yeah. She started doing like interviews of people who were like foreigners visiting Japan who were wearing kimono and like what got them into that and stuff. So that was actually pretty interesting too.
Heck yeah.
But, yeah, she does a lot of tutorials.
I'm guessing, and in terms of like streaming, I don't really watch Western streamers, so I don't really have one. Only watch Japanese streamers. I think it was this year that Stylish Noob. Yeah, he decided to take a break, so that was a bummer. I used to watch him all the time. Stuff like that. But honestly, though, number one, man, Muscle Grill.
I mean, I have to say thank you
Holy
to that too,
shit.
because I've had a lot of good food from that. So
I'm gonna link Muscle Grill recipe playlist in the description here, and Blue's gonna link the Sunao person, her kimono goddess. So if you guys are interested, go give them a follow, please. Muscle Grill doesn't really do that kind of stuff anymore, so I'm just doing. They have like an archive playlist of like 200 like different recipes. It's all in Japanese, so it's kind of hard, but holy shit, man, they're goated. It's interesting because the guy's a bodybuilder, but he used to work as a chef, so he knows like he's like a what is it? He's a foodie or like a food nut. So he knows all the ingredients. He knows what to use. He uses a lot of natural stuff, and it's like just cheap, good food, and keeps you healthy. And it actually tastes good. It doesn't taste like diet food. He hates that, and I don't like that too. So it's perfect. So shouts out to Muscle Grill. Thanks for that. Thank you so much for that question. Asa asks, any progress with the wedding plan yet? Nope.
honestly, we're probably not gonna get married ever. The wedding's never happening.
Eno asks, Blue, what is your next plan for your hairstyle? And what about Gray? Do you want also experiment more with hairstyle?
I'm just growing mine out for now because I need something, or else I'm just gonna chop it all off.
Yo, I'm since I quit my job, I'm thinking of coloring my hair some like crazy color next year. I want to like
go bald.
I just said color. I want hair, but I'm thinking of changing.
Yeah. I'll go bald.
My hair. You just said you were growing it out. I don't understand. All right, thank you so much for that question. Shane asks, any big plans or resolutions for next year? I think we've mentioned what we're kind of like planning to. Hopefully, we answer that question during the podcast. So yeah. Brent asks, favorite games you played on stream this year? Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasy,
sure. Final Fantasy 16.
Hogwarts.
Hogwarts was a lot of fun. Yeah, I still play that.
Hogwarts. GTA has been a blast. That's like a most recent one.
I mean, Lies of P was fun too.
Hell yeah, Lies of P.
There's a lot of games that were fun.
Ton of good games. And Vaughn asks, what has been your best purchase of the year and what's the worst? The best purchase of the year is hands down. Well, if you want to call that a purchase, sounds a little bit cheap.
Okay.
You know, adoption. But
okay. Yeah.
Is the Boom Boom Chopper. Best purchase of the year
What's
is
your worst?
What?
What's your worst?
I bought these like I bought like this for my nose hairs. I bought this shaver thing and the battery broke on me, so that was the worst purchase. Yeah. So the blade is shit.
Oh well. Stop. Maybe you should just use scissors. Just get little tiny scissors and just cut whatever's sticking out.
I cannot trust myself.
Well, then learn to.
Cannot trust myself.
I think that's easier than spending money on those blades.
Oh, and the Hori controllers that I got are god tier.
Oh yeah, for the Switch.
Yeah, the fit ones, the smaller ones. Oh man, those things go so hard. How about you?
Trying to think. There's a lot.
Best and worst purchase.
Best purchase was the Kumihimo.
Oh yeah,
for sure. I use that a lot. It's been very useful. The worst purchase? Well, I mean, the worst purchase was getting this one type of dog food that made Mimi eat poop. So
that was pretty bad.
Now I have this leftover big bag of dog food that costed me so much money, and it's still full, and I don't know what to do with it.
So if there's any dogs in chat, please let us know, and we'll send you a huge bag of Akana.
I don't know what to do with that. So yeah, that's my worst purchase.
And that's it. That's the wrap for this year. Hope you guys enjoyed a year of Blluist, and get ready for more, because there's gonna be a lot more Blluist to come in 2024, and really appreciate all the questions and everybody hanging out this year. Thank you guys for yet another awesome year on this crazy fucking place called the internet, and we'll see you guys next year. Thank you guys so much.
We'll see you next year.
Take care and stay alive, okay?
Bye-bye.